Imagine holding something up this big that weighs 2 pounds to talk on the phone. That is what the first cell phones look like. The Nokia, the Dynatec 8000X was invented in 1983, and it became commercially available in 1983, and it was about this big and it weighed 2 pounds. So just imagine holding 2 pounds up to your ear to talk. That's what these phones were like. And also, here's a cool picture. You see how her hand doesn't even fit all the way around the phone. These phones were about $4,000, and all you could do on them is talk. There was no texting, there was no internet, there was no games. It was strictly talk only. And if you had one of these phones, you're definitely one of the elite, one of the rich and famous, because this phone right here would cost you about $4,000, and the battery life on this phone was about 30 minutes of talk time. That's all you would get out of this $4,000 monster of a phone here. The major changes was coming between the 1990s and the 2000s. Many of you might remember this Nokia phone. This Nokia 3310 was introduced in the 1990s. I was in high school when this phone came out. I still didn't have one. All the cool kids did, but I didn't. And you could play games on this. This had a game on it called Snake, and it was a very simple game where you would just take this little black thing, and I don't even really know what the purpose of the game was, but it was popular. The Snake game was popular. And there was also flip phones, and colored screen phones became available in that time. Our phones started having cameras on them. We could take pictures with our phones, and they became more affordable. Again, they weren't $4,000. They were still more expensive than they are today, but they became more affordable, and households started seeing them more. And then in 2007, a huge change came. That was when the first iPhone was introduced, and that changed everything. We had new features like GPS, taking videos, and of course pictures with our cell phones, and it's just evolved from there. Now we can do our banking online with our cell phones. You don't see usually people without their cell phones. We scan barcodes with our cell phones. We do our banking on them. So if nothing else, you should have a greater appreciation from going to this to going to what our phones are today. So if you're laying in bed at night and scrolling with your phone, just think of what it would be with that 2-pound brick that came out early in the 1980s.